Do you feel like the team responded after the long pause? I mean, obviously 117 points. I think it's your highest in a WCC game since I believe '94. So pretty good for the most part.
Yeah, no. Hey, I thought we were crisp, which you worry about that being a little bit timing being off and being sloppy, and especially I thought that first group with both their segments they were in there were terrific on defense and played with great purpose on offense and doing the kind of things that we wanted to do. I mean, obviously that was a really high possession and fast-paced game. You don't really run into too many people that want to play that way. So I think I'm a little disappointed down the stretch of our defensive numbers, but the game was already decided. So by and large, really happy with how we responded. You never know how we're going to respond when you've got that much time off.
What was that break like for you guys over the last 10 days or so?
Disjointed. I mean, I really can't work on much of anything except individual skills because you're separated. You might have 4 guys here, 5 or 6 at a different time at a different gym, and so there's not a whole lot. I mean, usually over Christmas break, you can really, with no school, you can really fine tune your offense and your defense and put in new things, and different schemes, and work on in-game stuff. And so, you really lose that whole 2 or 3 weeks. We might in the past really use that to get better. And so this was more just a lot of individual work. We're finally able to get them together on Thursday. So,
when did you guys have your first practice back together?
Thursday.
What did you think of Chet's game today? I mean, 18 points, and he was pretty active defensively, not only blocking shots, but had a few steals and had the nice sequence in the first half at the dunk and got the end one there.
Yeah, I think he's doing more of the things that we've kind of, both he and I have talked about him being more successful at, doing a little quicker into his moves, a little quicker into his decisions, I think he's been pretty darn solid defensively for us during this first half of the season. But I like how he was today. I think he's kind of taken some of the stuff that we've been talking about and working on, and he's such a willing learner and so wants to get better. So he's very conscientious and likes to watch film and likes to get coached a little bit. So I think he's making some strides.
What about Anton's game? Looked like he was playing pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, Anton was good. I think especially around the basket. I think he's getting more and more confidence. We've been asking him to score all 3 years he's been here, and I think he's finally kind of asserted himself a little bit in there.
Six guys in double figures. It must be nice to see everyone kind of get involved offensively. Happy with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, again, I don't think we're close to doing that anyway year round. So that's kind of who we are. The last 3 or 4 teams have been like that. So I think Andrew needs to get more selfish. That would be my thing moving on him. But again, he's such a great facilitator, and he's just such a gifted passer. Some of his passes he made, go back and watch him. There aren't many guys in the country that can make those kind of passes and those kind of reads. So, but yeah, we have a lot of guys that can put the ball in the hole. So, and they're willing to share. So that makes it fun.
You talked about it a little bit. You guys were crisp with all this time off. Just from your perspective, is that surprising to you guys came out and played that well?
We had a really good practice, the first practice. I think the staff, we were all kind of surprised at that because, we kind of figured we'd be throwing it all over the place. And, there was a little bit of conditioning aspect that, they were hurting. But again, I think we were pretty good when we went on this pause. So hopefully we didn't lose much, but we're going to be, really tested here coming on Thursday.
Can you talk about that test a little bit? BYU, expected to always be one of the top teams in the conference. Just what are you expecting coming out against.
I mean, same thing you expect from BYU. They always just play crazy hard, and they come at you with just a multitude of guys. They play with great confidence. They'll pull guys off the bench, haven't seen in a while. The first time they touch it, they'll shoot it, and usually goes in. And you know, Barcelo's a terrific. Experienced player. Gosh, he must be on his 5th year now or so, and they're getting some really good play out of the freshman big, and they've had a wonderful, successful non-league. They put themselves in great position. I think they're top 25 or 30 in the net, much like San Francisco and St. Mary's. So I mean, it's going to be as competitive and as good as I've seen the top end of the league in 32 years of being in the league. So I mean, there's a legitimate chance to advance 4 teams, and we'll see how it plays out.
It's going to be the biggest challenge of rescheduling all these games, and you guys don't have too many open days. Do you foresee playing 3 games in a week a few times this year?
I mean, I think we might. I think the most important thing, quite frankly, for our league is to. I mean, we have this once in 32 year shot at advancing 4 teams, so that needs to be our highest priority, is making sure we get those games in, and those games are in the proper time, and where teams are, you know, rested and ready to play, and not just shoving other games in. Again, because of the preseason, because of the job that these teams did, I think we really need to look at these things in a unique way and make sure that we're putting those 4 teams in the best situation, so we keep them alive for at-large positions in the tournament, because that would be a heck of a statement.
I think Coach Calipari came out and said that he'd spoken with you about potentially playing a game if it kind of lined up, and we saw the Loyola Chicago USF game kind of happen on a few days' notice. Could you see playing a game like that if you guys had an open date? Yeah.
Multiple times a week, so a myriad of subjects. So you know, obviously we'll always be looking for something and actively looking to do something like that, and we'll just have to see how it plays out. Again, I think our guys would like to do that. I would like to do that, but you know, we'll see if we can make it feasible. It takes a lot, and it was great to see San Francisco and Loyola Chicago. I think that was really a wise move, and you know, so who knows? You know, this thing is always ongoing, and you just have to be agile and ready to move and not get stuck in any kind of, whether it's our league schedule or anything. So yeah, we'll see. You know, we'll see.
Dominic Harris put out a video the other day of him putting up threes. Do you just have any sort of timetable of his return right now?
Gosh, I mean, it's you know, it's a long heel on that particular injury he had. So it's great to see him. He's up and he is shooting. But you know, we're already to mid-January almost, and he's not ready to run or jump or do anything like that. So we'll see. But so far so good on that. I mean, there isn't really no timetable until we can figure out how this, just the fact that he's walking around on it now.
Do you think he's gonna end up returning this year?
I don't know. We'll see.
It's kind of hard to predict when Caden's going to be available with the back spasms he's had, and they're just so on and off.
Yeah, and they're pretty intense. And I mean, he got evaluated again this week. So we're just going to try to rest it again and see if it can calm down and get him back out there. Our problem with Caden is once you get him there, you get him amped up, and he's just about ready. You know, conditioning has always been an issue, and then you know, learning all the different schemes and sets and things that we're in, and then bang, you know, 2 weeks off again, and then we have to start back at 0 again. He can really help us this year with his physicality and his athleticism. He's actually different than anything we have in there, but it's been frustrating for him and frustrating for us to not be able to have any sort of consistency with him. So. Okay.